Aries, this is all about you. This is your weekly oracle and tarot card reading from Born Without Boundaries. This is an oracle card spread. It's an energy reading, not a horoscope. So this is for wherever Aries energy influences your natal chart or influences your life because you're dealing with an Aries. Pull up a chair. This reading is for you. I do a new reading specifically for Aries every single week. So if you want to know as soon as they're uploaded, click that subscribe button, help the channel grow, and ring that bell so then you get notifications of when all your favorite content comes up. There's always an extended reading. So we'll delve into themes and energies, which I intentionally keep pretty general so that they appeal to and everybody can relate to them, right? But then there's so many more specifics that we get into in the full tarot card spread, and that reading includes a full romantic specific reading as well. So that link is below, and I hope to see you over there. Let's get into your reading. Aries. Aries. What messages need to come out for Aries? Holy moly, like in my face, yo. Be peace and claim your independence. There is an energy of getting yourself back and finding a personal balance within who you are. A sense of you will end up on your feet. Let's put it that way. You will end up, let me tell you how I know. Let me show you how I know. Because of this card right here. So this is 4, right? And this is your energy. Very much the get it done. Kind of aloof, sometimes remains sort of apart, to remain objective, observant, looking at things, keeping in control of themselves, right? Cat energy, very lithe, very agile, very malleable, very capable, and very like it knows itself. Energy, and it's very much your energy, but it's also a sense of 1 + 3 = 4 feet, grounded. You will land on your feet. So whatever you're going through that is getting you off balance, cats have a keen sense of balance and are able to reestablish them, like rebalance themselves, even when they're falling from great heights. You know, don't go flinging cats out of buildings to test that one. Just saying that they really do land on their feet all the time because they have this amazing sense of centered gravity, a center of gravity. And that can translate in terms of people into that sense of self, which is Aries. It is Aries. You rule the first house. This is a really beautiful understanding of who you are. Keeps you balanced. It keeps you sane, and it keeps you being able to see that there is a future on the horizon. Then there is be peace, which is not 4 but 3. See, 2 + 1 = 3. This is Libra energy. Ironic, because Aries and Libra are completely different ends of the spectrum, right? They are literally opposites on the astrological wheel, the zodiac wheel. And Libra rules the house of partnership. So this is a sense of balance between you and could be a partner, but also the rest of the world. A sense of this will reestablish themselves, this will balance itself back out. The energy of 3 is a partnership energy, because if you think of yin yang, there are 2 halves, but then there is one whole, and that is the 3. And the 3 is God, the 3 is love, the 3 is that center point on a scale. It's not just the 2 sides, it's that center point that keeps them, that almost defines the relationship between them. Or if you could think about it this way, it's the relationship itself. So there is a sense of that sense of otherness and wholeness, finding that wholeness inside of yourself, or finding a balance in a partnership, finding a broader understanding of yourself through partnership, finding a way to make these very contrasting, opposing, but balancing energies work. It's just interesting that these 2 energies are balancing, they balance each other, right? They balance that sense of self balances that sense of partnership, and one is amazing with the other, not without the other. And if the other was absent, there would be a lack of harmony. And if you're experiencing a lack of harmony, it could be because you are missing other people, you are missing partnership, you are missing interaction, or maybe you're missing a soulmate. You're missing that person that makes you feel balanced. Not that you need somebody, but that you need somebody. You know what I mean? Like, you're paying your own bills. Okay? You know, it's not like you don't love yourself. Cat is very happy with himself. Very happy. But there is a sense of something more. Something else. That's better? Let's get into your reading. It's really interesting. This and that are true. You're in a very ambiguous time right now. Staying light, staying fun, but wait, it's more like you're between the tides. You're between two worlds. You know, the surface of the water is almost illusionary in that, does it really mark the difference between the air and the sky? The sense of the air and the ocean? That line of demarcation, that sort of splits the worlds in two. It's like you're playing between that right now. I don't know if you're having a partnership that you don't really know how to define. Sort of a communion with somebody that you don't know is still a little bit ambiguous. This sense of trying to keep things light, trying to keep things playful, deciding that this is the best place for it now. Or if you're in a partnership where you always have to toe the line and you're afraid if you dive in deep, then it will go away, or you know that if you dive in deep and if you don't remain playful and remain up, then there's a loss. You feel like you're gonna take a hit. That could get very uncomfortable. Let's put it that way. But dolphins are really beautiful, playful creatures, but he is the energy of two, and two is an unbalanced energy. Think of tarot. All the twos are unbalanced. They're either undecided, or they're struggles, or they're still needing information, or they're stuck. So just two is an unbalanced energy. So it's a sense of individuality having to come together and meld into that new personality. And there might be right now in your life, you're in between that stage. So you don't really know how to define yourself. Bring your ideas to life. This is definitely a spark. This energy of 2 + 4 adds up to 6, which is love, the energy of love, the energy of togetherness, the energy of earth. So there is a sense of something sparking, something coming to life. There's it's almost conceptual right now, though. It's like it's in the idea phase. There's a sense of that electricity or that spark that needs to happen to bring it to life. Clear out the clutter. There seems to be an impasse. This is Cancerian energy, maturing Cancerian energy, also a creature of the tides, but you have to let your old self go before you can truly, fully accept your new self, Aries. So there's a sense of what can you get rid of? What is holding you down? What's the baggage that you're stuck with and won't let you leap and really go from lily pad to lily pad, dive in, dive out? The wonderful thing about becoming a frog is that unlike a tadpole, unlike a tadpole, it isn't subjected always to the tides. You know, it has so much more control of its world. And as much as, it's melancholy and changes have to shift and happen, this is making you into something stronger and something much more malleable. And it could be even speaking to whatever partnership you're in, becoming much more malleable, much more flexible, living between two worlds, between the tides. This is Cancerian energy. I don't know if you're dealing with a Cancer. It doesn't really matter if you are. What matters is the energy says, feeling at home inside of yourself, as opposed to always needing the environment around you to make you feel at home, and also being willing to let go of those things that are impeding you from continuing to develop or being your full self, to the fullest capacity of who you are. So there's still something, and it's probably personal. If anything's getting in the way of a partnership or a new potential, it is something that you're holding on to. And it may be a concept, it may be a belief, it may be holding on to an older sense of self that you still feel like you have some sort of obligation to. Whatever it is definitely something that it's personal and you're holding on to it. Love is all around. This is in reverse though. So this is Gemini energy. Gemini is the master of communication, being able to figure out and understand how to phrase things or put things so that most people understand. But this is in reverse. So there's a sense of almost like a void, like a lack of. And this is your central energy. It's 4 + 1. There's resistance here. 5, change, right? Fear of change impeding or impacting a potential to connect, or a sense of a lack of opportunities. Like nobody, it's almost like something, there's a lack of connection. There's a lack of connection. Hold up. More cards have come out. Lots more. Be playful. 6 also. See, 5 + 1. Staying on the surface, trying to remain playful, this is Gemini energy too, but it's more that playful, like let's remain in the shallows. Let's not get too deep. Let's just have fun for what this is, or trying to be in the moment. And your rendition of being in the moment is just staying light and not digging in deep, splashing, playing, having fun, be playful. But there's a sense of, but there's no love here. There's no connection, there's no depth. And that could be very frustrating and sad for you. Then we have lay a solid foundation, also 6. Okay, now I understand. So the energy of 6, 6, and 6 is very unbalanced energy. And 6, 6 is wonderful energy because it adds back up to 3 if you break it down. Because 6 + 6 is 12, and then 1 + 2 is 3, and then that's the divine number of 3. But the added 6 adds up to... the added 6 adds up to not, basically, if 6 times 3 is 18, 8 + 1 is 9. Okay, there you go. What it's telling me is there's a sense of something needs to change. Something's got to give, something has to happen. There's one step that's missing, and you need to figure out what it is in order to complete a cycle. So there's a cycle that needs to come to an end, or things are going to remain a little bit unbalanced. And because your crowning energy is all about landing on your feet and finding balance again, I think this is a sense it's just what's occupying your mind more than anything right now, Aries, is finding that sense of self, but also finding a partner that you could share yourself with, and finding connection and communion, and really not being able to find a balance in yourself until you can start connecting with people again. Now, freedom is yours, and this is the energy of 3 + 3, another 6. There's a lot of 6s here. There's a lot. Wow. Okay, and that reestablishes itself. It almost, in some ways, balances itself back out. Freedom is yours. Horse spirit. This is being liberated. That's what it is. It's like, I think it's being freed maybe from an old love, an old struggle, being freed from something that you were obsessing about and couldn't let go of. This is a sense of being able to, and a sign, right? In a message that says you're going to be able to get over this, especially if there's been times recently where you've been thinking about somebody from the past, hooking up with somebody from the past, or they, in some ways, there's this old cycle that has been ready to end, but you haven't been ready to let it end. There is a sense of you finally being able to liberate yourself from it now. A lot of times we carry these burdens in our hearts because we've had expectations of ourselves, Aries, that we didn't live up to. So there is that sense of, and just as I'm talking, look what energy pops out. In reverse, which means you're haunted by something from the past. That's what's grounding you. That's what's, in other words, in terms of this reading, that's what's holding you down. And I just saw 444 on my my timer. across the bottom as I'm recording this. So there's an energy of angels all around you, protecting you and blocking out any kind of harm. So in other words, the angels know you need a little protection right now. And this protection could very well be because something is haunting you, something from the past. There's hurt, there's sorrow, there's suffering, and they're trying to protect you. There is an energy of, yes, they want to come to your rescue, or they want to know that you're not alone through this. This is a sense of something from the past impeding your ability to move on into the future, holding you now, not just securing you and, holding it down, but like holding you back. Let's see what this energy is. Take a leap of faith, and this is 3. So this is a sense of, and I feel like we got this reading for you, something last week, yeah? This sense of, it is murky area. It isn't decided. And you're not, in other words, you're going to have to be okay with not knowing you're going to be okay. This is the only thing you have. Faith is your grounding energy. Faith is your security and certainty. Faith is what you have right now that is going to be able to get you through and help you leap over and get past those things that are still harming you or hurting you. There's really shadows from the past, like being held down and your future being impeded, and something. It's almost like not believing that your dreams could come true. Doubting, overthinking, making yourself think that it's not impossible or it doesn't make any sense. Well, the truth is faith doesn't make any sense because it doesn't have anything to do with sense. Faith isn't about sense. It's about sensibility, right? And that comes from a deeper place that works in the murkiness, that works in the uncertainty and the undecided. And when you take a leap of faith, you're actually the one that is deciding, what is my future going to look like? Well, I'm just going to go. I'm just going to decide. I can't see it right out there in front of me because it hasn't been created yet. I have to create it. So be here now. More Libra energy. And this is the beauty in front of you. Beauty that's sort of magical and mysterious, and it needs to stay mysterious in order to really be appreciated in its fullest capacity. So this is the energy of 7. And what I just say, creation, creating your own opportunities, creating, seeing the beauty in the current situation, a sense of being inspired by just the idea that something could exist. Let me flip the camera around. Hold on. Okay, so here we go. I think that there has been a sense of I made mistakes in the past. And in some capacity, understanding that, but I've gotten through them, and being able to see the beauty that has come from those things that have hurt you or scared you or almost stopped you in the past. This sense of being able to overcome it with that sense of self, that beautiful sense of self that has to then believe in something else. And it is that something else that is that the belief in something else that is that leap of faith. And it is that something else that is your opposite, the partnership. Knowing that, finding that wholeness and that balance, being in trusting your partner, trusting in something that you can't control, trusting in others in general. But here is a sense of, and this is what concerns me, this central energy, Aries, of something is lacking, a feeling that there's an emptiness. And almost like you're trying to convince yourself, you're still in a process of trying to convince yourself that things are okay. Here's the thing. Let's go back. Something isn't okay. That's where we start, because that's that 9 energy, right? That energy of something isn't okay. Something has to be completed. There is a missing piece. And if we can't find the missing piece of the puzzle, we have to figure out how to fill it in so that we can complete the puzzle and put it away, right? There is a missing piece. There is something that you loved and you lost and it's gone, or a lack of communication coming in, like somebody not being able to communicate, whether it's you or somebody else, not being able to communicate correctly, and communication being that missing link, that link that feels like there's a missing piece. You understand? There's a sense of words need to be said. Something has to be said. You have to say something, tell somebody something, or you need to hear it from them. But I feel like because this is your central energy, you need to do it yourself. There's words that need to be exchanged that were held back, and that's sort of what that resistance is. You've been holding on to these words. You've been holding on to this statement. And I think it needs to be said. That's the only way you're going to be able to move on and get freedom and be able to then look back and say, I learned a lot from this. Let me pull really quickly, because I'm doing the full romance reading over on the other side, but I want to see what the first romance card is. Aries in love and romance. Aries. Oh. Yeah, do something for someone else. You did not say what you needed to say, and just look at, I'm not even kidding you. 1 + 4, 5, 41, and 41. Same energies. And it's all about communication, because this is a Virgo card and this is a Gemini card. So it's all about Mercury. Something did not get through. Something wasn't communicated correctly. It's a mercurial setback, not a retrograde, an actual setback. A message was not delivered to you. And that's what's impeding your ability to be able to move on. But I don't think it was a message that wasn't delivered to you, because it says do something for someone. This is romance now. Do something for someone. Aries, you didn't say to somebody what you needed to say. You held something back, and you know what it is. So let's go into your full romance reading over on the other side. I'm going to pull a full tarot card spread first to basically dive into this energy and get the nitty-gritty. We'll get some answers over there. Aries, the link is below. I'll see you guys in the extended.